honestly don't even know how to start this video because I still feel shaken and angry. I don't know if angry is the best way to even describe exactly how I feel. And I get it why this video, especially on TikTok, has sparked a lot of outrage. I'm so sure that probably you've already seen this video of a black woman actively in labor, screaming in pain, and she was kept in the waiting area for over 30 minutes. And the woman at the counter was busy asking her paperwork questions as if she wasn't even a human being. No urgency, no empathy, nothing. And watching that as a woman and as a mother, it broke me. I felt sick because how do you watch someone who is clearly in agony and you just ignore them just like that? I do not know how to explain or react to these people's behavior. But again, I will allow you to watch first and then I will come back and talk later. The mother has actually explained things into details and then I've also compiled a few reactions from TikTok and I will later come back and give you my own opinion. Do well to like the video, subscribe to the channel if it's your first time here, but if you have always been riding with me, I appreciate you so much and kindly give this video a thumbs up. And credit also goes to the original creators of today's clip and let's get right away into the video.
Fuck! When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date September 11th?
What?
How many times have you been pregnant?
3.
This is your third pregnancy?
Yes.
You have 2 babies
It's
at
in
home?
my ass.
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones?
Beverly, this is the first patient for you. Alright, last name is Jones. She's G3P2. I'm not sure when her due date is.
Her due
I
date is
just
the
said it
10th.
was the 10th.
I think her due date is the 10th.
She got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors.
Thank you.
Everybody say how they treat people. Hello, TikTok family. This is a follow-up on the video that I posted earlier. So I was at work. I had no idea of the activity that was going on. My daughter's texting me, calling me. I didn't know what was going on. So finally I get home, they tell me about the video, and a lot of you was asking about a follow-up and to explain the situation. So this is the situation. My daughter went into active labor at home. We took her to the hospital. She called ahead of time, so we know they are expecting us. However, we get there to the emergency room. We watching nurses, putting gloves on, running to the door. They get outside of the door, and I drive a black SUV, and they look at my vehicle, and one of the nurses come up to the window, and she goes, I'm sorry, this is for ambulance only. I said, well, my daughter is in active labor. And she was like, okay. She said, but you're going to have to go to the front. I'm like, I have to drive to the front. And they said, yeah, you have to drive to the front. Okay, another redhead. And so I'm like, so she's in the, you hear, and it was like, yeah, she started bagging up, hit the button, went back inside the building. So I go around to the front. I get out of the car. Again, this girl is in more pain now than she was when we first left the house. And she started saying, I feel pressure. I feel pressure. I said, take deep breaths. I ran in. I said, hey, my daughter's in the car. I went to emergency. They told me I had to come to the front. So the lady was like, what's your daughter's name? Told her Kiara Jones. She gets out some paperwork. Start typing in the name. I was like, ma'am, do you have a wheelchair or anything? She's in the car. I need to get her in. Oh, if you check on the other side of those doors where the vending machine's at, there should be a wheelchair out there. There's no wheelchair out there. So she gets up, she walks in the back, and she come to the door with a wheelchair. She said, here you go, ma'am. I said, excuse me, you're not going to come with me? And she was like, no. Oh, okay. So, a police officer was in the lobby. He gets up. He grabbed a wheelchair. He goes out the door with me. He said, come on, I got you. Went out there. She is on hands and knees in the back of the vehicle. And I'm like, oh, shit, what is going on? And then she goes, it's in my ass. And I was like, what? And the guy was like, and she was like, he said, okay, she was like, give me a minute. She could not move. So when that contraction eased, we put her in a wheelchair. He said, you go park your car, because they, again, had, people out there. So I went park my car. It wasn't even 30 seconds. I run back in the building. She's just there with a stack of papers in her hand, screaming that this baby is coming. This baby is coming. I look at the registers behind the window, and they looking at me, and they was like, well, we can't do anything until she signed the papers. Are you fucking kidding me? So I grabbed the papers, and of course, it's all ER bullshit that they have. And I was like, you want her to sign this, and she's in active labor. And they was like, okay. I was like, ma'am, she was supposed to be induced earlier today at 8 o'clock. And they called and told her that they will call her because they didn't have beds. And they would let her know. And no one ever called back. They called back every hour on an hour. And they was like, no, we'll call you back. And then finally, her water break, she called them. They tell her to come in. So why is she signing these papers? We need her in labor and delivery. And it was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. So the charge nurse comes out. And she saw the paper signed. What fucking, are you serious right now? And she closes the door. And then the lady behind the window, at this point, my daughter, scribbled her name on all the papers. We gave it to her. She says, thank you. She walked it around to the charge nurse. She opened up the door. My daughter is literally like having a contraction. And she's just standing there in the door. So we push her into the door. I said, can we get her into labor and delivery? She said, no, we have to fill out all this paperwork. I have to do the paperwork and get her a band before we can send her upstairs. So that was the video that you guys saw that I initially posted. So the next video that has no picture on it was when I was pushing her in and we was at the window, because they asked me to move her from the window so they can take care of other guests or, patients that was coming in and out. Do not go to this hospital. This hospital is ghetto as hell. They do not care about black women or their babies. This is crazy. I read about stuff like this all the time. But to see this firsthand, this lady did not care. None of them. It wasn't until we got into labor and delivery where we saw an ounce of care or sympathy for her. Before then, they can care less. She did not care if she gave birth in that wheelchair. That was not her problem or her concern.
That video really, really pissed me off. the blatant disregard for the situation at hand is astounding to me. Like I'm just in disbelief watching this video. I don't know what the protocols are for that hospital, but for the ER that I work in, when a patient is over a certain number of weeks, they go straight up to L&D. The only way that they stay in the ER if they are having a medical emergency. Then, if that's the triaging nurse, where are your triaging skills? Because if that lady had that baby, what was it, 17 minutes later? That was an emergent situation and you made them wait 30 minutes? And what about a bedside triage? Why did you make that lady wait like that? Like, there's no urgency. She's not asking the questions fast. She's not typing anything fast. She's not calling anybody quickly. She's just sitting that bitch like whoop-de-doo. She don't give a damn. And to be honest with you, a lot of them don't. Like, it's time we just go ahead and just call a spade a spade. This happens way too often in the healthcare systems, and it's the reason why Black women have a 3.3 higher chance of dying when they're having kids. Because of behavior like this. Because they aren't seen properly in emergent situations. They're not being took seriously. Oh my, like when you see stuff like this, like as a Black woman, as a Black nurse, like it makes you angry. It makes you angry from a place like deep inside. Like it'll make you want to do something to people. Like, and I feel like, oh, she's not even my family member, and I'm upset for her. Y'all need to file a complaint. You need to file a complaint, and you need to take it there. I don't care. Like, as nurses, we're supposed to be advocates for patients. Whatever you're doing, you are, safety and this patient's well-being is first. And she's just like, oh well. And it's like, some of them, they should not be nurses. If you don't like Black people, if you don't like Black women, if you don't want to believe Black women when they're pregnant and their symptoms and stuff that they're telling you, get the fuck out of the nursing field. Go away, retire. Get a different career. Go home. Stop working in areas where there are predominantly Black people. It just makes me so angry, and it's triggering for me because as an ER nurse, I've had to advocate for my patients several times. Black women, I'm always going to go to bat. I'm going to go to bat for all my patients, but I know sometimes I literally have to put my foot down and insist when it comes to Black women. You need to have somebody with you in the event that you are unable to make medical decisions or speak up for yourself. And whoever you bring with you, they need to be willing to stand firm and make sure that you are being cared for. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh, it angers me so much. Y'all need to send this video to every news station in the area. You need to get the emails of the executives. You need to get the corporate, figure out who the patient advocate is, find out what their protocols are. I would turn this into the board of nursing, because this is gross negligence. I'm just in disbelief right now. This is insane. hearing that I cannot help you was traumatizing for me. Like, that is negligence. Like, to sit there and let that lady suffer like that and do nothing and just be aloof and just act like you just don't give a damn. She didn't give a damn. I think that every Black creator, Black women, we need to be writing letters, sending emails. Like, we need to demand accountability from this hospital and this nurse. Like, this type of thing, it can't keep happening. We have to do something because Black women are dying.
Lawsuit immediately. This is disgusting. The way that they treat Black women at these hospitals is mind-blowing to me. And the fact that this nurse is sitting there just oblivious to the fact that this woman is screaming in pain, baby about to fall out her vagina, screaming, excruciating pain. And I know what labor feels like. I know what it feels like when there's no drugs in your system. No, this is not okay. Not okay. And if I was her mother, if I was her, I would want to own the hospital. Because what do you mean? You're just having her sit there and the baby was, she gave birth to the baby 12 minutes later. No. And then did you hear how they treated her? They didn't even bring a wheelchair. They didn't bring a wheelchair when they pulled up. They told them to go to the front of the hospital. Are you fucking shitting me? Now, what if something would have happened to her or that baby? No.
You can have anyone in the delivery room with you, right? Including a medical malpractice attorney. After I learned that Serena Williams, almost died because her medical team, when she was giving birth to Olympia, didn't take her concerns seriously, my Black ass has been thinking about solutions for the problem, which is the insanely high mortality rate for Black mothers giving birth. And perhaps it's walking into that hospital with a medical malpractice attorney by your side who happens to be your best friend in their suit, right? In their business attire, legal pad out, right? Just taking notes in the corner, asking the nurse, what was your name again? Jot that down. So if I'm like, hey ma'am, I think I might be dying. This is a hemorrhaging type situation. Perhaps you should look into it. And they're like, oh, don't worry. This is like giving normal. Put it in the chart. And Mark, jot that down in your legal notes. All right? Perhaps then they'll take us seriously.
Honestly, I'm still trying to understand somebody with a heart as hard as a rock decides to work in a profession where empathy is literally the bare minimum. Like, why are you working in healthcare if compassion irritates you? Because if you are not ready to serve human beings, if you don't have it in you to care, to feel, to react, please just drop that profession. Let people who actually care do the job. This woman was literally in active labor, screaming, crying, shaking. And you mean to tell me that you just sat there filling out paperwork like nothing was happening? Are you kidding me? Paperwork. You are asking questions and typing while someone is begging you for help. What if that woman had died right there? What if the baby did not make it? Will you tell the family, oh, sorry, we were completing form number, whatever? And the funniest part is that they had already called the hospital. The hospital was expecting them. So why are you acting brand new? Why are you acting like they just walked in from nowhere? What is this insanity with paperwork? My God, it's like they cared more about procedure than a human life. And to see somebody suffering like that, crying like that, you stand there with a straight face like you are deaf. I don't even know how people like that sleep at night. And these people supposed to take vows, right or wrong? Don't nurses and doctors take vows to protect lives, to prioritize patients? So what happened? Were those vows just words they memorized for graduation pictures? Because nothing about what I watched showed compassion. Nothing. And then I went to the comment section. May God have mercy. People are out there saying, oh, the woman was overreacting, and this has nothing to do with racism. And I'm like, are you serious right now? A black woman being ignored while in extreme pain, treated like she's exaggerating, like she's just making noise, and you say it's not racism? Okay, fine. Let's pretend it's not racism. Then what is it? What is the problem then? Because I'm tired of people acting like black women don't feel pain, like we are built out of steel. This woman was abused. She was neglected, dehumanized, and you all want to argue? I'm not accepting that. And another comment, this was actually a question in my mind. The person was saying that more black nurses in labor and delivery units, please. And someone replied that it's not easy for them to get hired in those specialty units. And I'm like, why is it hard for black nurses to get hired where they are needed the most? What is so special about labor and delivery that black people suddenly become unqualified? If white staff can't treat black women with respect, then hire black nurses to care for black women. Simple. America loves to say it's the greatest country on earth, land of the free, land of opportunity. Yeah, well, this is now the real America. Behind all that fantasy talk, this is the America that black women face. This is the America that leaves you to suffer and calls you dramatic. This is the America where your skin color determines whether you get immediate help or whether they ignore you until it's too late. And honestly, it's terrifying. It scares me for black women giving birth in the United States. I've heard the stories for years, but now I'm seeing it with my own eyes. Like it's real, it's happening. I feel so angry, heartbroken, and I'm so tired of seeing all these things. Something has to change, honestly. It's 2025 and we are still watching black women get ignored while pleading for help. Still watching hospitals treat us like we don't matter. Still seeing people excuse it and defend it. Gosh, you guys, I would like to know what you think about this situation because it's really tiring. In case you want to check the original creator out on TikTok and show your support to her. And I'm also glad that she has come up with an update. And she said the baby and the mother are doing absolutely good. We thank God for that. And once again, I appreciate you so much for watching today's episode. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, and I would also like to know what you think in the comment section. Until next time, take care, bye.